And the key to getting good results in business is to stand out in a crowded marketplace. Or even better and even smarter is to create your own marketplace and become the only one.
Hi, I'm Beki Eakins, business mindset and lifestyle coach for occupational therapists. I focus on creating a freedom-based online business, helping OTs to package up their skills in unique and exciting offers that feel so good that they sell with ease in the online space. Since leaving the profession of OT, I have now worked with hundreds of clients online, helping them to create a life they feel inspired by. In this podcast, I will talk about the lifestyle goals, mindset, and strategy you need to create your own life of freedom.
Positioning yourself on the market. Many of you will be saying, and I've heard this so many times, it's all right for her. She's a business coach. They make easy money. I've literally been told this over and over again. Everybody thinks the only way of making money is by going into business coaching. But if you think about it, is that really true? Because actually business coaching is probably the most saturated market there is. There's literally so many business coaches. I mean, just think about your own social media. How many times you get approached by various different business coaches that teach you one thing or another. And literally everywhere you look, there are business coaches coming at you. And so online courses, trainings, coaching, and other businesses, they've never been so busy, really. There's just infinite ways that we can provide services online these days. So that does mean there's more competition. Absolutely, everybody's doing it. And the key to getting good results in business is to stand out in a crowded marketplace. Or even better and even smarter is to create your own marketplace and become the only one. So you can do this by becoming unique, having a really strong, unique selling point, and that's going to be your X factor. So that's what we need to be looking at. And if we use my business for how this works. So how did I get myself in a position where my business could do really well? There's very little or no fighting to get clients. There is a tiny bit of competition. And my competitors I am friendly with. There's absolutely no reason not to be. But I've got an infinite amount of potential clients. And the same principles that I've followed will work for most niches. So even if you're sat there thinking, no, my niche is so oversaturated, it's just impossible. Just think, so is business coaching, literally. And part of why we think a niche is oversaturated is because we're obsessed with that area. So we surround ourselves by people who are in that area. So our world becomes a reflection of us. But if you realize that so many people are not in that same position, they've not followed a lot of people who are also into the same thing. They've not had that natural connection. So sometimes we think an area is oversaturated, and in actual fact, it's a poverty mindset, really, because the world is a big place. And talking about the world, this is partly why I chose to have an international business. There's actually a lot of reasons why I chose to go international. And partly that is because when I'm not traveling, I love meeting people of different cultures, different backgrounds. It feels like I'm bringing the traveling to me. But whenever people are concerned about the size of a niche, I always say just think globally. Like, it's crazy how big it can be when we think about the whole world. But this is only possible if you drop the title of OT. And my clients tend to go one way or another. I've got roughly, I would say, 50% drop the title of OT. and 50% keep the title. So yeah, they just need to stay contained within your licensed area and the rules, obviously, of occupational therapy if you choose to keep the title. But even then, like, a niche can still be really big within a licensed area, way bigger than sometimes I think we realize. And the second reason is in terms of how I managed to niche down and get a lot of success with my business in an oversaturated market, is because I turned myself into a specialist. So I helped OTs to create a business alongside other entrepreneurs for the first year of this business coaching business. But the moment that I chose to really niche down, my business actually flew. And I had a lot of resistance to start with to just helping occupational therapists. I really did. But the moment I made that decision was very pivotal in my earnings and the people that I attracted. And that's because instead of being a small name in a massively overpopulated area of business coaching, I suddenly elevated to becoming a bigger name, not a big name, but a bigger name in a smaller market. And I found an area where I was up against a very small group of entrepreneurs who offered something similar. So if we look at my competition, the actual amount of OTs offering business coaching is very, very small. And then what I did was I studied this group. I really absorbed myself into learning about my competitors. And I actually did this for some time. I actually did this before I went into OT business coaching. And I found myself a unique spot in the marketplace. I saw a gap. I saw that people were doing things in a different way. And it went the way other people were doing it went against the natural grain of who I am, because I'm so focused on needing freedom. I can't help people create a busy practice. It goes against my core values. I just can't do it. Like it actually makes me feel tight inside. And so for people who are wanting to create a busy face-to-face practice, there's other coaches who are going to be better suited. So I found my place within the market. And I chatted to my competitors, I befriended them. And now I do need to point out that there's absolutely no need for a scarcity mindset here. Our market is massive. And even if it wasn't, the right people will just come to you. There are all different types of people in the world. And believe it or not, I am not wanting to attract in people who do not resonate with me or my message. Like, it's so important that I only attract in the people who are going to like working with me. It's really not nice if you ever pick up with working with somebody who's not aligned to you. Like, it's just not worth taking their money. Literally, there's no need for that kind of stress. So your tribe will be attracted to your message. And if they're not, they're going to be repelled by your message, or maybe it's just not the right time for them. And so people naturally migrate to where they feel warm, where they feel comfortable, where they feel safe, and where they feel excited by. So I've got a specific message for people who want a specific type of lifestyle. It's very much freedom based, and that's different. You know, some people, I know a lot of people are repelled by the idea of freedom. What would I do? Yes. So they're not going to be my clients. So that's fine. And that's something that the stronger and more authentic your message gets out to the world, the better quality of clients you will attract to you. And it doesn't mean they're better people. It just means they're better for you. They're so suited for you So when we hold ourselves back in the content and we're trying to people please and we don't really say what we think, that's when mixed messages come out, and that's when you attract in the wrong clients for you. So it's interesting how that works. I recorded a mindset meditation, one that you can do overnight. Very powerful in terms of helping you create the confidence, the self-belief, and deal with any money mindset issues. I use these kind of overnight meditations all the time. I found them incredibly powerful. So I've created a very special one, and I'm giving it for free to all of my podcast listeners. You can download it on the show notes. So the next way that I managed to position my business so that it had that X factor and I had a good position on the market was that I created a unique offering. So as a result of doing the work myself, I'd found my purpose, understood my zones of genius. I know what makes me buzz. I know, what my why is. And I just created a unique offer following processes that were so valuable to me as I was desperately trying to seek a freedom lifestyle. And my particular offer, it tied up my life story, the whole reason why my life journey has gone in that direction. Like, why did we have to suffer with the heart attack, with the burnout, with all of those things happening at the right time? Well, it was all because that was going to be part of my story, part of my journey, and helping me to gather a certain set of skills to create a freedom lifestyle. So I created a method around this. So a method that solves a mainstream problem. So it's fairly mainstream. There's a lot of you occupational therapists who want a freedom lifestyle. Like it's fairly common. It's quite interesting, actually. If I connect with OTs on social media, it must be around about 70% of occupational therapists, when I speak to them, want to create a business. The number's probably lower that want to create a freedom style business, but it's still high. It's still relatively high. Like, I only have a very brief conversation with people and they nearly always are saying, wow, that sounds great, I'm really interested. I giggle sometimes at how easy it is, like how many occupational therapists secretly want to use their skills to create a freedom lifestyle, but they don't know how. So I created the how, basically. And if you go too far out and wacky with your method or the niche, you'll create a really small niche, which can work, but it's just easier if you go more mainstream. So you're solving something that a lot of people want, but with a really specific and unique way of solving it. And that's why people can only work with you, because you're the only person in the world, as I am, to be delivering it in this way with these results. So my offering was there to help a very mainstream problem. Over half the world want to create a freedom business, it seems. The market for that is huge, but I do make it more specific because now I'm a former occupational therapist. So I've got the experience in occupational therapy. I understand the business, the profession. 13 years of working as an occupational therapist before I left. So that helps me become more specific. But also, the better the client results are and I'm attracting in more people, it helps me to get more and more specific as I go on. So I continue to make this very unique by stating that I help occupational therapists who want to create a freedom style business. I make it very clear that I don't ever help anybody wanting to create a bricks and mortar style business. Anything solid that's not in the ground is not free. And so therefore it's not for me to teach or sell. I also do not faff around with low ticket offers. I am only interested in helping occupational therapists to create freedom. You don't do that, or 99%, that's a guess, but most people will not do that when they're selling courses for $150. I do not, I've got no interest in helping people grow a side hustle. It's just not part of what I want to do. I want to help people be free, and you don't do that by playing small. So my offer is completely unique just because it comes from this personal life story. The more I understand myself, the stronger my offering can get. And my own desperate need to create freedom and my own findings are all tied up within this offer. So we help clients tie up their life story and unique skill set. And the process, it's exciting. It always produces completely unique results, which I really like. So in terms of creating the how, you can create a step-by-step process, a chronological order maybe, for something that's so unique. And this is really your intellectual property. It doesn't mean that you can only help people in the area that you've got life experience in, because there are always relatable findings from your life to your niche. So the most common example is there's a lot of my clients who are helping parents and they're not even parents themselves. That's absolutely fine. You don't need your life story to dictate exactly who your niche is. But what we find is there's a reason why you are naturally attracted to help your niche. And it's that reason that we want to dig out. It's your personal story that's relatable to your offer. And this is where it really strengthens your position in the market and will help you stand out. So I'm basically helping you dig out your X factor. So each month I added in more and more specifics as the business was going on, and that was reflected in the language as well. One example that I've had to do is I've met so many people that want a freedom style business model, which to me runs online, because digital products are where the freedom comes, because you can automate them, you can use social media. But at the start, I was meeting a lot of people who were refusing to work on social media. So I had to firm up the language and just make sure it's super clear in my messaging and my content that this will require some level of online working. It doesn't have to all be online, because we play to people's strengths. But social media is one of the best tools for selling products. There's no cost to it. We can just put content out, attracting people. It's so easy. So it was important that I made that clear in my language. And I created taglines such as freedom-based business model. I remember somebody once saying to me, "Oh, I didn't cover that when I studied business at university," which just made me giggle. Yeah, because I've just completely made it up. But it's just to make it clear on what this is. And then I just get better at explaining it over and over again. Language is literally so key when you're attracting in new clients, because you need to call out the exact words that you want to attract in. And I change this regularly according to whether I'm selling for higher or lower amounts. Sometimes in my business, I sell for lower amounts because it suits me. If I'm just about to go traveling, like when I went to Australia, for example, I wanted more people on the lower level because it requires less work for me. And then sometimes, like when I came back, I'm like, no, we're going to go higher level. We're going to get back with one-to-ones and bring in an injection of cash. And so I change my language according to who I want to attract. But there's one key word that I always wait to hear, and that is the word excited. At the end of a sales call, when the new client says, yes, I'm in, I'm so excited, I know that my marketing has done a good job, because I love to work with excitable people. To me, that's so important, because that energy is what is going to take you through the difficult times. It's going to carry you through the challenges. So if somebody's not excited, that is a concern to me, because potentially they're not going to get as big results. And it's important to get big results, because I need your results to be good so I can keep talking about them, so that I can attract more people. It's interesting how that works. So I do want to really focus on attracting the right people. And so if I talked about my business helping people create a side hustle, I would get people who are not that committed, who are just wanting a small little thing at the side. They're not really invested in creating a freedom style lifestyle. So I stay well away from those kind of words. And so just to summarize here, what you want to do to get your X factor in the business and stand out in a very crowded online world is, first of all, understand your purpose and your unique message to the world. Get really strong and clear in that. Finding your X factor. Solve a mainstream problem with a unique offering. Check out your competition and find your position. Create a new position is the ultimate, something that nobody's done before is the absolute ultimate. And tighten up your language. Call out your exact ideal clients as you're doing that. And then crucially, work on your mindset to avoid these feelings of scarcity, to avoid these feelings that, oh, it's too crowded, how can I stand out? A lot of that is just a mindset issue. So I hope that helps you for today.
If you are an OT with 3 to 10 hours per week spare, then the OT Yourself to Freedom membership is best for you. It will teach you how to create a business, an online freedom style business, but in an affordable way. And this is best for those of you who haven't got the time to really go for it. If you have the time to go for it and you want to achieve bigger results in a short space of time, what you're looking for is the OT Freedom Collective. This is for OTs who've got 10 hours a week or more and you're just really keen to get big results. That's where you're going to be closely supported by our team for a 6-month period. It will be intensive. You'll learn everything you need to create this freedom style business. And the biggest word that people say about it is that it's life-changing.